All right, you guys have been asking, and it's done. The new official Fritanga Discord is up and running. Now, this will be members only, but for a limited time, I'm leaving it open to everyone to join. In the first week, here's your chance. I'll have the link down below. It's the perfect place to catch me if you want to play video games or chat with other members of the community. I promise I won't leave for bread and cigarettes and never show back up to the Discord. Daddy will be there. So, join now. Also, tomorrow is my birthday, turning the big 3-0. Gonna be doing a stream at 12 p.m. Pacific time. If you wanna hop on and celebrate the life of this 30-year-old popsicle stick, it's gonna be fun. Anybody who's ever a part of the streams knows how chaotic and hilarious they can be. All right, with that out of the way, we turn our attention to Sungrad Studios, the new lolcow of my channel. Well, he wasn't a lolcow before, but after these last two uploads, he is most definitely a lolcow, going down a DSP arc where he just wants positive streams and vibes, dude. I consider him Yongye's long-lost twin, only this one doesn't sell soy products as far as I know, but he is a game developer, so I have a bit of more respect for him, until he started lashing out at his own supporters worse than I've ever seen Ubisoft or EA do it. Or hell, even Naughty Dog. You see, the guy is pissed off at me. The problem is he's taking it out on his audience, and that's not cool. His audience may not know me, but I'll tell you one thing, you guys don't deserve to be talked down to like your children from this guy. And it's all the results of me making a video on him when he invoked Iwata's name and used Iwata's death to play into people's emotions and get them to stop ranting about Nintendo Switch 2 prices, which is just gross. And now he's claiming it was all a troll and a joke, but we know it wasn't. And we'll get to that video as well, but right now we need to cover this video because he removed this one, and for good reason. It's a career-killing video. In spite of shilling for Nintendo, if we go take a look at his social blade, he wasn't dropping subscribers. People weren't agreeing with him in the comments. Half the comments were against him on it, but that was the worst it got. And I guess he just couldn't stand half his comments not agreeing with him, which led to him losing his mind every Nintendo upload, getting increasingly worse with his takes, being more condescending, comparing his audience to children who watch Cocomelon. But when he says shit like that, you can tell Sungrad Studios is the type of guy that likes Skibbity Toilet and watches it in his privacy. Anyways, I guess he just couldn't stand both videos I made on him, but he wasn't enough of a man to respond to them, so instead he lashed out at his audience and uploaded an atrocious video that finally did cause him to lose subs. And now he's getting increasingly more insane. But before we can get to the full mental breakdown, we gotta go through his psychosis phase. And that psychosis came in the form of a video titled "Goodbye, It's Over," which had about 50k views before he took it down. And the entire comment section was confused, wondering why he's lashing out at them. So we're gonna go ahead and watch bits of that right now. And you know, it may sound cliche, but I mean it when I say that. I have never broken another content creator's brain more than Sungrad Studios. I think I may have perma-fried this guy.
Have a seat. We're gonna talk.
Well, in all fairness, it may look like I'm sitting, but I physically can't sit. My lower entire half body is a popsicle stick. It looks like I'm sitting right now, but I'm not. But even if I could, I would choose to stand instead. And Jesus, the way he said it, it's like I'm being walked into the principal's office.
My name is Jarrell. You might know me as the guy
Are you the guy?
You know
Are you the
every inch of my
guy?
dick and balls.
It's the guy. What?
who put on the suit and did industry speeches. I covered a number of industry topics. I identified opportunities for the industry to move away from malpractices and move towards better practices, focusing on integrity, honesty, and transparency.
All right, you need to go to the doctor and get that main character syndrome checked. For real, you are out of your mind. You're just like the rest of us, a geek online talking about video games in YouTube videos, all right? You're not much more special than anyone else. You're especially not the only game developer slash YouTuber. There's tons of them. You just so happen to think that if you use your title of game developer and you put on a suit and you speak all calmly and well-mannered, that people would buy into your bullshit and think you could change the industry through your content. But ain't no developer actually watching your videos and thinking, that's the guy who's setting the example for the rest of us. You give a guy 126k subscribers and it all goes straight to his head, like the heroine that took out Janis Joplin.
I have made it very clear that I am not a YouTuber. I am a professional working in the games industry. I made it very clear that I'm not here for attention, and I will sometimes be covering topics and presenting topics with speeches that you will not always understand.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain to me how you're not a YouTuber 800 plus videos later. I mean, you have more videos uploaded than me, and I've been doing this for almost 8 years. On top of that, I barely started uploading daily this year. I've never done that before. You've been uploading daily for a while. You are a YouTuber, and you most certainly want attention. Why else would you be covering Concord? Why else would you be covering Dragon Age? Why else would you be covering Assassin's Creed? Those videos of yours are incredibly successful, and chances are you haven't been able to replicate that success since then, and it's making you lose your mind. I feel you. Welcome to the world of being a YouTuber. But to act like you're above it, to act like you're not a part of it, is just absolute bullshit. Everybody who uploads is hoping their video gets attention. That's the whole point of the platform. What, are you uploading your videos hoping nobody watches them? It's all just self-gratification? I highly doubt it. You chase trends like other YouTubers. You make the same topics like other YouTubers. You present yourself like a YouTuber. You are attention starving. And again, stop talking to your audience like they're too stupid to understand you. All of them understood you perfectly clear. The way you speak about these subjects isn't that deep or intelligent. I've watched your videos. It's pseudo-intellectualism. You can put on a suit, you can strap on a lavender mic, you can put the green screen in the back, you can comb your hair to the side, and you can mask that you're just another average Joe. But what you can't mask is your brain. That shit gives everything away. Your thought process, the conclusions you arrive at leave me so dumbfounded and wondering how people even believe it.
I told you that whatever I discuss here on industry topics will be for the gamers. I am against anti-consumer practices. I'm against pro-corporate. And I asked you to be patient, to listen, and to trust me. I said everything I say in my videos will not be just literal. There's a lot of meaning to what goes into these videos, and they are not literally just to make a video for attention.
Let's be real, you're talking to me, okay? You're lashing out at your audience, but you're talking to me directly. I know you watch my content. Your top pinned comment in your latest video is bringing me up, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's quit pretending like your videos serve a purpose for Nintendo or any other company. They don't. Because from what I've seen from you, it looks like the only purpose they serve is emotional manipulation of your viewers. That way you invoked Iwata's death and tried to use it as leverage, even sprinkling in emotional music when you bring up his passing and how you wish you could have worked with him, and you turn to look over. All of that was meant to play into people's emotions, and all of it was meant to get people to stop riling against Nintendo's price hikes, and that is gross. Say all you want, there is no taking that back. That was in very poor taste.
They are to guide people to sharing their feedback, to lead a conversation toward a discussion, towards people sharing their perspectives, but also showing the industry how you respond to various topics with various tones and subjects, how you respond to certain situations, how you respond to information.
And what's the problem? They responded accordingly. They didn't like the price hikes. They didn't want to defend it. They didn't want to buy the Switch 2 because of it. That's fine. That's normal. Hell, I'm pretty sure Nintendo expected that. How you didn't is beyond me. Not only that, but this conversation is being had everywhere else, and other people hosting said conversations are not having these meltdowns like you are. Isn't your community supposed to be the place that's the most open to these discussions, not the most closed-minded? And for the love of God, you could at least do the bare minimum of respecting your viewers' intelligence. Well, they're not Roronoa Zoro. You don't have to lead or guide them because they're lost without you. The way you're talking, it's as if you're telling people, this is how you should think, and you didn't think the way I wanted you to, so now I'm scolding you.
Now, when the announcement for the Switch 2 was launched, things were not going well. There were many negative reactions online, and I posted a number of videos that were not just literal. They were prompts. They were prompts for you to share your feedback so the industry could see how you feel and how you respond to certain subjects.
You're out of your mind if you think the industry is going to use Sungrad Studios' comment section as feedback. What? You really think they go to the comment sections of other content creators and use them as feedback? The industry doesn't listen to anyone. The only time the industry listens is when shareholders pull or when products commercially flop and they beg customers to buy their shit at a heavily discounted price. Comments don't do anything. If Nintendo wanted feedback, they have a bajillion other places to look for it, not you. The dude legit thinks that because he's developed a few bite-sized games for the Switch, Nintendo's going to listen to him and turn to his comment section. No, again, go get that main character syndrome checked. And here's the worst part is you are a part of the industry. You develop games. So the way you are reacting isn't helping. Do you understand that? Do you understand that as a developer, you reacting this way makes the industry look bad, not your comment section? I can see it now, even though this video was taken down. It's been downloaded everywhere. People are now going to upload a video titled, "Game Developer Lashes Out at His Own Audience." That's going to happen. And believe me, as a gamer, there's nothing more I love than to put such egotistical, narcissistic, game developers with an insatiable appetite for attention like you on the spot.
It did not go well.
Oh, that's putting it lightly. I really don't know what you expected out of your audience when you tried emotionally manipulating them into not criticizing Nintendo. You have to seriously underestimate the intelligence of your own viewers to pull off something like that. It shows you clearly do not respect them if you thought that would actually work.
People, instead of receiving any information or viewing the matter in a subjective way, merely through tantrums.
Yeah, that is not at all what I saw in your comment section. People were respectfully disagreeing with you, even up to the point you were using Iwata's death. They were still polite in telling you, yeah, that wasn't the best move, but I'm still gonna support you. Like, you have an audience you absolutely do not deserve. I wouldn't call anything I saw in your comment section a tantrum. It was all very fair criticism of this company. What's funny to me, however, is you're looking at that criticism of Nintendo in your comment section and you're saying those are tantrums. But when you were making these videos on Assassin's Creed, on Concord, on Dragon Age, I'm guessing, as well, you weren't saying the people in your comment section were throwing tantrums or ranting or not thinking rationally. You loved it when they were all on board and agreed with you. But the one time half your audience doesn't agree with your Nintendo take, it's tantrums. Funny that, isn't it? Your viewers aren't stupid. They could clearly see that you had a bias and favoritism towards Nintendo, and that rubbed them the wrong way.
People did not care about the facts. They ignored the facts, and they only focused on hatred and anger. And people only focused on stoking that anger and hatred.
What facts, though? You didn't really bring facts to the table. All you did was praise Nintendo for letting customers know which games don't include the full game on the cart in their Nintendo Switch 2 titles, and then you turned to an inflation chart to justify price hikes, and that was it. Everything else felt like complete gibberish, like you're some PR spokesperson. And again, I love it, how it's not hate towards anyone else. But if you start criticizing Nintendo and you start criticizing Sungrad's opinions on Nintendo, then it becomes hate for some unexplainable reason. All of a sudden, the tone changes if it involves Nintendo. And he thinks we can't pick up on this. That's the best part.
And because of that, people turned on me.
They turned on your opinion, okay? They didn't turn on you. Nobody turned on you until this video. Because this video is personal. It's far more serious than your own opinions on Nintendo. Who cares if half your audience didn't agree with you? Move the fuck on. It's not a sign that everybody turned on you, okay? You can upload a video on something else tomorrow and they'll forget.
I was slandered online, which does not matter to me. Again, I do not care about reputation.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be a game developer, your reputation should absolutely matter, but either way, I haven't seen any slander. I haven't seen people discredit your profession. I haven't seen people discredit you as a creator. I haven't seen people bring up any personal information on you. You merely just got criticized because you were bootlicking Nintendo and sticking up for them more, and you were doing it with such poor taste. That's it. That is not slander. Everything happening to you is a self-inflicted wound. People are trying to help you bandage it up and you just keep picking at it. The fact that your audience was more concerned with your mental well-being than angry at you for your opinion says a lot to me. Everybody in the comments section was showing real concern for your mental well-being.
I have no interest in popularity, but people were slandering me for a time period.
Well, I know people weren't slandering you, but if people were, slandering you, I'm sorry to hear that.
And not a single content creator stood up in my defense. Now, what does that show the industry?
What makes you think you're entitled to anyone rushing to defend your opinion? What, just because you made a few videos that impressed, like Asmongold, that suddenly means you're entitled to defense? What is there even to defend? Is the expectation set that others just agree with you by default and your opinion and your position is the correct one? This dude listened a little too much to When the Shit Goes Down by Cypress Hill. He really thought all the homies were gonna come and have his back. What, did you think other content creators were gonna turn on me in defense for you? Because I can't think of anybody else you would expect to defend you. If this is supposed to be satire or dry humor or whatever excuse you're gonna throw, at least make it believable, because I don't believe you have such high expectations of yourself. If you do, then you are straight up delusional. Both outcomes are funny, so I win. You're either acting like a clown to amuse us, or you are a clown.
It shows the industry that when people are shown information and facts, the hate mob online will disregard any information and won't actually watch videos and won't actually listen. I posted a number of videos to show what would happen, and you guys proved that you do not actually watch videos, you do not actually listen to information, you outright ignore it and focus on just creating hatred online.
None of this hate is just being created, okay? This hate comes from a real place. Actual Nintendo fans are not happy about it. You really think everybody's just going to sing Kumbaya, hold hands together, and make videos just blindly hyping up the Switch 2 and never mentioning what Nintendo's trying to do to permanently change the industry for the worse? You really want people to make videos where they don't address the elephant in the room? You want people in your comment section to not say a word? Not say a peep? You really thought your video would change the outcome and make everybody realize they're just being emotional? You really thought you could part the Red Sea? Jesus Christ. What content creator in their right mind would defend such an indefensible position? By God, you're fortunate I was the only creator to make a video on it. And who would have ever thought that little video of mine would have such a huge domino effect where now everybody's realizing who you are? Of course, nobody was going to defend your shitty position where you used Iwata's death. Even you realize nobody could defend that, which is why that video is now gone. But luckily I saved it and I responded to it and it's up there forever for everyone to get the full context. So that way they can see that you were never joking to begin with.
Now, what do you think you have just shown the games industry?
That we don't support $80 games or $90 games or locking game chat behind a subscription. I think it's fair to say those are pretty reasonable positions.
You have just shown the games industry that there is no reason for them to listen to you. You have just shown them that there is no reason for them to accept any of your perspectives or feedback because you just act like children. There is no reason for them to say, wait, maybe these consumers are onto something.
Yeah, funny thing about that, see, you are the games industry, okay? You've worked to publish games on platforms, mainly Nintendo platforms. You voiced how much you wanted to work with Iwata before he passed away, and how it was a dream of yours. I admire your passion, but let's not get it twisted. You're compromised. You are the games industry scolding the consumers right now. I'm sorry. But you're not just a random voice on the internet. Like you said, you're a developer. And the way you're talking down to people right now about price hikes and using emotional manipulation, what do you expect the outcome to be? All that has been shown here to us is that you're like every other developer, thin-skinned. The way he says you have shown them, as if he is not a part of the same industry. That is some fucking projection if I've ever seen it.
Unfortunately, I expected much better out of all of you.
When it all fails, light up the gas. Oh my god, dude. You can't be serious right now. You expected better out of an audience that you conditioned to shit on other games? That makes no sense. You were perfectly okay with it until it involved Nintendo, and what your audience was criticizing was completely valid and fair. But you just couldn't handle it. It was too much. You didn't expect them to go so hard on dear old Nintendo and Doug Bowser, huh? Embarrassing. You care more about Nintendo's reputation than your own. This is just sad.
This is entirely my fault. This is not your fault. This is entirely my fault because I believed in you.
Oh, wow. Way to gaslight even more. My god, I've never seen layers of gaslighting upon layers of gaslighting. This is crazy. This is emotional manipulation if I've ever seen it. And I've seen it many times. I know for some it's kind of hard to imagine such a character exists, but they're real and they're quite common. Some people out there just have more clout than brains. He's talking to his audience like this is some high school breakup. No, it wasn't your fault, it was my fault for believing in you. It's no wonder you ended up deleting this video. You were pouring your heart out, quite possibly for the first time ever on your channel. And it was, unfortunately, it was a narcissistic douchebag that was pouring his heart out. So it garnered no sympathy whatsoever. It doesn't matter if you try to spin it as a joke's on you, because after deleting it, the damage was done.
I believed you had the maturity and the intelligence to understand what I was telling you, to understand information that was presented to you, and I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, for viewers of Sungrad, he's basically insulting you right there. He's basically calling you guys stupid and immature. After all, remember when he compared you to children watching Cocomelon because you didn't like that Nintendo was allowing developers to publish games without actually being all entirely on the Switch 2 cards.
Again, I have no interest in popularity. I do not care that people are slandering me online and spreading lies. That has no bearing on my life. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, that can't be because it's all you've been talking about this whole week.
What matters to me is that I can no longer create these speech videos addressing industry matters because of how you guys responded.
Now don't go threatening us with a good time.
Because I did a video, you guys ignored all of the information and turned everything into hatred, hate content, into slandering, and then nobody stood up and said, wait a second, hold on, maybe there's some information in here. I've been watching all of your videos. I keep an eye on the industry, I watch what all of you post, and I'm very disappointed.
You mind dropping names? Like who? Who did you think was going to defend you? Who are these people you watch? My god, how about you just go get real life friends because you'll have a better relationship with a homeless person than you ever would with a content creator. My god, just because you made videos on Concord and Assassin's Creed and you appealed to a huge chunk of the anti-woke community doesn't mean they're going to defend you on this. Doesn't mean they're blindly going to just stand up for you on a position that's indefensible.
I really believed in you guys.
Oh my god, I swear to god, you better not fucking cry right now, Sungrad. Do not cry in front of me. I will bully you into oblivion. Do not shed a tear, for the love of God. Knowing how you emotionally manipulate so much, I wouldn't be surprised if you were trying to force yourself to cry and then smear it on your thumbnail, Mama Max style. Trying to show how distraught you are to your audience in the hopes that you can play the sympathy card and it works. And you do it so shamelessly? God damn. Do not ever try this shit in front of another man ever again. I'm gonna be 30 years old tomorrow. I don't have the time of day to be watching a fully grown ass adult on the verge of tears because half his comment section didn't agree with him. And because he expected his YouTube buddies to stick up for him.
So, I have been the only industry professional addressing this matter in the public space in a direct way. Do you understand that?
Bitch, please. Reggie Fils-Aimé called out Nintendo better than you did.
Are there any other professionals putting on a suit and addressing these matters in a public and open way?
Yeah, Doug Bowser. Look how that turned out for him.
Who has been fighting for you for the past year?
Far too many content creators. That's what I'll say. I don't need you guys to fight for me. Just have your opinions and shut the fuck up.
When the previous CEO of Unity, John Riccitiello, put in anti-developer and anti-consumer practices and was going to tear apart Unity as a company and rupture the industry, I first put on the suit and tie, I spoke, and we were able to remove the CEO that was destroying Unity. That is extremely difficult to do.
Jesus Christ, this guy takes credit for just about everything, doesn't he? Next thing you know, Sungrad Studios built the pyramids. Sungrad Studios invented penicillin. Sungrad Studios discovered sliced bread. But for some reason, Sungrad Studios can't get Nintendo to lower the price.
Now, my set of skills come from the industry. I am accustomed to dealing with multi-million-dollar CEOs and business owners. That is what I've done in the past. I know how to deal with them. And you do not deal with them by just throwing tantrums. I asked you to trust me.
Bitch, you don't even know how to deal with your own YouTube channel. Stop. At some point, the minute this dude put on the suit and went on camera, he started convincing himself he is that person when he's not. I will give you this, though. I mean, you're able to develop games. I've seen you play guitar. I'm also a fellow guitarist. You do have skills, but I highly doubt you're capable of dealing with billionaires running these joints. It's not your place, and you know it.
Do you understand the reasoning why? You've just destroyed our credibility. This was an endeavor with you and me, and you've destroyed our credibility with your behavior online over the past week.
In the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you have done that yourself. Either way, that's gonna be the end of the video, and we're gonna continue in part 2 with his follow-up video saying it was all just a prank, bro. There's nothing else of substance here. He repeats himself. And honest to God, I don't want to watch it. It gives me secondhand embarrassment. One of the few dudes that can make me feel uncomfortable watching him. Because you know he's going through it right now. How desperate he will get, though, now that's where the entertainment comes in. And if you want to see that in part 2, then like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific time for the birthday stream, and I'll see you then.
Fritongo sucks ass.